positive doubt, negative doubt. So particularly in the logical sort of debate field, doubt is very essential. Skepticism is very essential. Without sort of doubt or skeptical, there's no possibility to develop questions. Without question, you never investigate. Without investigate, you never find the reality. So the doubt, even Buddha's own word, doubt is necessary. Then further investigate. So all those Buddhist texts, major texts at the beginning, the
4 kinds of criteria for a text, like the content of the text, the purpose of the text, the supplication, and then also the pledge to compose the text. So 4 kinds of elements of.
So the proper sort of the student of that book should have skepticism. Then investigate. Otherwise, just blindly accept it. That Buddha himself used to make clear. Oh, my follower, bhikshus and bhikshunis and scholars should not accept my teaching out of faith and out of devotion, but rather thorough investigation and experiment. So that's a very scientific way approach. So the doubt, generally, very helpful, very necessary. Now here,
diluted doubt in this context. So there is one kind. So the 6 kinds are like attachment, aversion, anger, pride, ignorance, and then diluted doubt, and the view. So here the first 4 are non-diluted, non-view delusions, and the last one is view delusions. The last one, the diluted view, can be classified again into further 5, like the view grasping at transitory collections. That means psychophysical elements. And then view that develops from that, view grasping at the extremes, like of an eternal self. And then view based on wrong approaches of methods to attain liberation, and then the wrong view itself. So these 5 are like view delusions, and if you classify these the view delusions into 5, then these 5 together with the other non-view delusions 5, they become they give rise to like 10 delusions in total.
So there are 2 types. One group, some kind of investigation, then develop wrong view. That kind of sort of clash, afflictive emotion. The counterforce is only wisdom, no other. But like anger, its counterforce is loving kindness. Too much sort of attachment, counterforce is knowing the negative side. So, nyambulya tishigdwa, sunjimbe nyambu, sajik point nyambu sajigdwa.
When it comes to the classifications of antidotes of the delusions, it speaks of 2. One is the antidote of avoidance, an antidote by which you avoid the source of these delusions, an antidote of abandonment, where you actually eliminate by counteracting with the delusion itself. So 2 kinds.
Oh, Rajiv, what time? Tea break? Huh? Kasa? At
15 minutes.
Kasa? Oh, Chusumba? Or 3? Okay, good. So now the later two lines, now dealing with 실은 요모증 인연보잖아 배질리고 왔다.
So the two lines where it says the cessation of these causes has been taught by the great perfected one. These speaks of the antidote of the view-oriented delusions.
So that involves about anathema theory. And anathema, now within Buddhist different school of thought, the different interpretation. So another word, the selflessness. Finally, all phenomena, the very nature of the existence is absence of independent existence, all designated. But at the same time, 타녀도 자구에 되는달라 타녀에 참아시기 미네바. 아니 단담주지 집에게 미네바 쓴거 땡네. 예미디 시아바 마도 유징은에 예미 프로프치타야 말이.
So in order to establish the existence of an entity, we have three criteria. First, the entity has to be conventionally known, and it should not have any logical challenges from other conventions. And thirdly, there should not be logical challenges from the wisdom discerning the ultimate reality of objects. So with these three criteria, only then we can establish something as existence. And so other than that, objectively or independently from the side of the object, nothing is constituted as existence. So it's only from mental designations provided with these three criteria that something is considered to be existent.
So now these sentences, so 4 lines, actually mentioning the law of causality as a reality. Then the sort of, if you analyze more deeper way, not only result depend on its own causes, but anything which become cause entirely depend its own result. Without result, you never be cause. So the very factor itself become cause depend on result. So these differences, result come from cause. Here, cause must be first, then result. But the existence of cause depend on its own result. Actually, result come later. Cause come first, but it become cause. It depend on the future result. 자자가 대부 줄을 떼네 깨 신스기와래. 다 주를 떼네 깨스기와래. 이나야 주의고 줘야 돼. 주를 떼래.
So when we say a result is dependent upon the cause, we also mean to say that the result has arisen from the cause. But when we say that the cause is dependent upon the result, it doesn't mean that the cause is actually born from the result. But to establish something as the cause, it has to do in relation with the result. So a result that is yet to arise. Based on that result, only then can we term something as cause, without which, without considering the involvement of the result, we cannot call something as cause. So based on that, even though it's not arising from the result, it's still dependent upon the result.
So that shows interdependency. Cause not come from a result, but the very nature of cause depend on the result, coming result. So now that brings the argument, everything's existence depend on other, not by itself. 다지 세면 도당 토안에 겨워 먹고 싶을 샤요. 가서 우리 그게 남이 치고 싶으나 겨워다 겨워서지 싶을 게 아주 못와.
So logically, if we are to analyze, then the consideration of the connectivity and also the consideration of logical contradictions, these are very important things to be contemplated upon.
So the reality, there is also the differences or contradictory. That is the natural law. Like you see, heat, cold, opposite each other. The light, dark, opposite each other. Like that. And yellow color, red color, differences, but not direct opposite. There are third factor there. Green, neither yellow, neither red.
Red.
But then the dark, only that. So here, existence, non-existence, dependent, independent, direct opposite. Either dependent or independent. No third way. Do you find one third way? Neither
Dependent
No.
or independent.
Oh,
Is there any other third alternative?
Karsa.
No. Is there any third alternative? Is a phenomena still exists without being either dependent or independent? Is there any third possibility?
Now, like you see, men, human being, and animal, different, contradictory.
They are actually not same, but we still can have. They are incompatible.
But you see, the flower, neither human being nor animal. So they are third. Human being and animal, 가서다.
Not,
Yeah.
They are different, but there still could be something which is apart, which is none of them.
Now, human being, non-human being, direct contradict. Once, this is human being, automatically eliminate non-human being. This non-human being automatically eliminate
Possibility
Human
of the object being human.
So that mangesati.
So this is
그래서
dichotomically
직세야 돼. 가.
mutually
어디
exclusive.
어디.
There's another term, dichotomy.
mange.
Right.
So dependent and not dependent.
Mutually exclusive.
Neither this nor that, no third. So now, the very nature of the existence, obviously, it depends on many other factors. Those factors are actually not that thing, right? 랑 임부 차야 돼, 랑 임부실로 돼.
So for the object to establish its own nature, it has to also depend upon something which is not the object itself. So to establish the object as itself, it has to again depend on something which is not it.
Some sense? So now the conclusion is, since things existence depend on other factor, so absence of independent existence. Things are dependent. Things existence depend on other factor. So now like self, I. Without sort of investigation, everybody feel, I'm here. I want happy life. I do not want suffering. Yes, it's very perfect, correct. But you see, the sort of attitude, the feeling of I, there are some sort of element, there's some kind of independent self which owns this body and mind, my body. Then further investigate which is self, I. Unless you accept Atma, otherwise it's difficult. If you accept Atma, then very difficult old I, young I, and even I think male I, female I. I is separate, independent, not depend on body. So male and female entirely depend on the organs. So the physical. So besides some independent I there, then I neither male or neither female.
Nor female.
No female. Difficult. I not changing, body changing. So due to different body, different sort of age of body, obviously we can say, now I'm old. It's perfect, correct. So there must be sort of connection or dependency. Similarly, mind. Today my mind rather dull. So I feel tired. Today my mind is very fresh, so I'm fresh. Everything is very much connected. So obviously, these things are obvious. So therefore, conclusion, Buddhist argument goes like this. So thorough investigation, you can't find things objectively. Now quantum physics also now touching quite similar that way. Of course, the external things, investigate particle, further. No sort of the essential substance. So the quantum physicists, they say, finally we subject side some designate. Isn't it?
A designation from the subjective mind.
So 명상기 당 오지 샤투야 말만다.
But they cannot
modern science.
they cannot establish the existence of the object by mere label or by mere designation.
Now Madhyamika philosophy, you see, the thorough investigation, then conclusion. The very nature of existence is mere designated. But at the same time, it works. So now here, two extreme. Independent existence or nothingness, two extreme. Avoid nothingness. It is true. It is sort of a factor. Factor way.
No, fact.
It is there. But not independently. Now here, once we intellectually some understanding about that, then examine our usual sort of feeling. For example, I, when we feel I, there's something independence. When we saw something there, it appears independently. So now, without sort of forget the understanding out of analyzation, then we realize, appearances and reality difference. Appears objectively. Reality not objectively. If things objectively exist, then further investigate must find.
Findable.
So that's the way. So now here, through that way, we begin to gradually realize the subtle level of ignorance, grasping entirely on the basis of appearances. So now this, the ten attack with Tenjung said.
So when you speak of dependent origination, we speak of also the dependent origination on when it depends upon causation. And the second one is the dependent origination of imputation based on its different aspects.
So Mahayana teaching, and like Nagarjuna's commentary, the very much emphasis of the explanation about the second type of Paticcasamuppada. Now, two meaning of Paticcasamuppada. One, law of causality. One, that way, dependent and interconnectedness. So Pali tradition also refer the second type of reality, but very roughly. Like Panchaparamita Sutra, very detailed. And then furthermore, these commentary, like Nagarjuna, are extremely well, wonderful. And Nagarjuna, Buddha Palita, and Chandrakirti, and Chandradeva. These four well-known, top scholars and many writings. Actually, we can see, fortunately, in Tibetan translation, all these translations are there. In Chinese Buddhist script translation from India, not complete. So, and particularly like logic, Buddhist logic, pramana, epistemology, I think Tibetan translation are much much more. And then here, I think the way, dialectical way, tell, chir. I think in English word, I think still difficult, isn't it? In Hindi, Sanskrit, tell, chir, dosu ka. And Chinese, of course, firstly, those Buddhist epistemologies or text, main text, the Dignags and the Dharmakirti, Ishantarakshita, I think these texts not translated. Nowadays, some translation there. Traditionally, not available. And then Tibet case, not only these translation there, but also local Tibetan eventually, you see, further develop because of the way to dialectical debate, investigation. So like Sajja Pandita and Chaba, many of these Tibetan scholars, they write their own summation.
Their own literatures on way of reasoning.
So it seems, as a result of now wider contact with Buddhist scholars, Buddhist practitioners from different Buddhist countries, now I develop some kind of the conviction as far as Buddhism general and particularly Buddhist philosophy and especially Buddhist logic is concerned. I think we Tibetan Buddhism is really superior. I want to seek permission from my guru to say that. All these taught by you, not our own creation. All these great, brilliant Indian masters, not only just religion, but you see, they, in academic field, they really, and immense help from non-Buddhist sort of scholars. I think Buddhist logic development, it shows very clear. After Dignac, a lot of sort of opposition from non-Buddhist school of thought. And then Dharmakirti come and he defend Dignac's sort of viewpoint and criticism or make sort of contradiction the previous argument to Dignac. Then after Dharmakirti, the further sort of also the argument from non-Buddhist school of thought. Then Shankarakshita, his Chamete Konnichiwa, in his
Prasanapata.
Which I mentioned before.
Tata Samgara.
So further sort of also the explanation. So the Buddhist logic, as well as Buddhist logic, I think develop more challenge, more development. No challenge, no further development. So challenge is very, very essential. Then philosophy also. The Madhyamika philosophy, although Parijaparamita Sutra mentioned that, then it's a different interpretation. Like Chitta Mantras, might only school of thought take some different interpretation. Mainly Arya Asanga and Vasubandh and some of his followers. And then further sort of explanation, sort of argument from
Prasangika.
Mari ngerti.
Saftantrika. Swatantrika.
Like Buddhapalita and also the Vivashek. Viveka. Lot of argument and argue the Chitta Mantra's viewpoint. Lot of argument. So the philosophical field also, you see, within the Buddhist, lot of debate through centuries, then further develop. Or not necessarily the development of the essence, but same essence, but the further sort of explanation and further sort of discussion, clarifications like that. So now modern time, I think in some level, some challenge from science is very useful, very welcome. First casualty for my own belief, Mount Meru. I do not now accept Mount Meru. So I think like you, I think Mandela Boom, the offering mandalas in the center of Mount Meru, I think very faithfully. Okay, this is okay. With certain sort of faith, in certain sort of also the visualization, that's okay. But otherwise, if you really believe existence of Mount Meru behind Siberia, and finally North Pole, flat, no mountain. Then further goes Canada. We never found Mount Meru. We will never find. So another casualty is existence of Shambhala, which attracted many people at Kala Chakra initiation. But the Shambhala itself, I'm not very sure. But okay, the Tantra, Kala Chakra Tantra, many Tibetan scholars, practitioners, actually practice that. So some, definitely sort of also the
Result. Experience.
Experiences there. So then okay. So teaching something proved when they practice, implement. So that's sufficient. The Shambhala, whether the Shambhala, that's something different. Okay, that's the matter. And also Sangdoberi, the Pema Sambhava sort of residence, sort of formal residence, right? In Pakistan, I don't know. Kasa?
Swat Valley.
Pakistan is your city. Uh, so, then the Wuteshen in China, Wuteshen in China, the Madhusri's place, ordinary place. But when 13th Dalai Lama visited there, one day he received one mala, rosary. Oh, that actually I saw. You see, those sort of, the elder people, they explain one particular rosary, which you see keep in one room in Potala. I saw that rosary given to 13th Dalai Lama, one Chinese monk. Soon after that person appeared, presented that mala. Then Dalai Lama inquired, where that monk? I want to give something, but then disappear. It happened. So there are some sort of mysterious things there. So from the Buddhist viewpoint, not mysterious. This also is the reality, a different level. Some reality or perception, so our sort of sensorial can experience. So our sort of mental sort of concept, many concepts mainly come through sensorial experience. So certain phenomena, the sensorial level, you cannot touch. So only we can investigate through some indications. One my friend, very close friend, one Indian, once asked me one question. As far as he knows, the Dalai Lama, your way of thinking is very, very scientific. But at the same time, you also accept state oracle. So he found big contradiction. That I told, there are different level of phenomena. So these oracles, these things are another level of reality. We cannot see, we cannot hear, we cannot touch this sort of, because of the grosser level of sensorial. But we can feel, we can experiment, we can test. So I told him like that. So then seems he understand. So I not dismissed from scientist, scientific minded. So like that. So in any way, now time. Announcement.